For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight-up hustle. We see you, but if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the HITI Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Hey! I am Todd Fox, and welcome into the Halos in the Infield postgame show, the only place where you can catch Angels baseball real talk with real fans. Because why? We are in the stands with you, high-fiving you, because we're by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. And you know what? The tell of a good show, the tell of a good broadcast of good fans and supportive fans and beleaguered fans, frustrated fans are the ones that could still stick with a team that disappoints as much as the Angels do. Coming off of a high of 3 games against the Dog Turds and sweeping them not only at our home, but at their home. And giving some false hopes, thinking that, man, this team is playing a lot better than I thought they would. And you're thinking, okay, this team has a chance, to at least stick around. We're not calling the playoffs. We're not myopic fans over here on Halos in the Infield, but we're hoping that they could surprise us, that they can keep this going. We were hoping that possibly they could just stay relevant till September. And a big part of that would not be winning all these games, because some people said, at the very least to be in it at the end, they'd have to be 27-16 down the stretch, or maybe even 40-13, which is pretty impossible. But, or 30-13, sorry, which is pretty impossible. But thinking about what a huge letdown this is. Not to think that we're going to the playoffs, but just the fact that you can, and this is what's been so frustrating this year. And I'm glad everybody's on right now, because this is the Halos in the Infield post-game show, and we actually are on, unlike Locked on Cox. They're not on magically tonight after they brag about being on every night, which is bullshit. Just like Trent Rush, we come on win or lose, rain or shine. But I had to toot our own horn right there. So toot. Now moving on, I'm a little down. If you could tell in my voice, I want to yell, but I'm keeping it cool. I don't want to go too in all this, because I feel like I'm giving a Taylor Ward outfielder performance. If you saw it late in the game, they hit the ground, or the line drive out there to outfield. The base runner was barely getting to third base. Neto's calling for the ball so he could throw home, and Ward stops and just he might as well have underhanded it to Simo at second. I see at least one of those plays every game from him. And then, as good as our pitching's been this year and how we've let them down offensively, we did a little bit of both tonight. You had the letdown of just, again, swinging for the fences. I mean, if you listened at all to the pregame, all they were doing was just pretty much glazing how much we got to hit home runs, glazing how everybody hits home runs in Oakland, glazing the fact that they've given up so many this year. And they were like, oh, fresh off the Dodgers series, and they're saying, oh, I wish we wouldn't have had that day off. You want to just get back out there and play. And all we saw today on TikToks and Instagram was Neto and Shauna Will doing photo ops at Disneyland. We also saw, you know, we also saw them taking pictures and photo ops for the Stadium for Players weekend. And Dreams of Vertigo says glazing. Why are you talking like a baby? I'm talking like my teenage son. So I'm getting new words from him. So give me a break. Big says that's all this team can do. Have you seen this team before? I cover this game and this team all year. I literally do. So believe me, I'm full aware of it. But where I'm coming from tonight, big 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I'm coming from the sense of, you have that girl that you're dating. She treats you like shit, but all of a sudden she has a good day. Something's going on with her that's putting her in a great mood, and all of a sudden you get the best side of her for 24 to 48 hours, and then all of a sudden she goes back to being a jerk to you. It could work both ways. I'm not just singling out females, but you start to believe, you know what I mean? And whether that's a bad analogy or not, I didn't start to believe that they were going to be better, but you would think after playing the Dodgers the way they did, you would think they would turn around and at least, I mean, look, if they lost this game 6-5, it still sucks, but to lose it the way they did tonight, it's like Ballin' for Life says it's an awful game. I mean, this is Oakland, guys and girls. If you want, I mean, you literally had to win these 3 games and then turn it over to, let's see what they could do against Cincinnati and Chicago at home. I mean, they literally got their ass kicked tonight. And there's so many things that they did wrong. And we've been watching this team all year as far as when they go right before an off day, they can't finish the game. They sit everybody. We've been driven mad by that. So they actually complete a sweep. And you're thinking, okay, great. This team's got fire. I don't care if they have a day off. The day off should be just not. I mean, they're only going to Sacramento. So they got some things in Disneyland. They really didn't leave till like this morning, I believe. So you had time to hang out with your family. You should be well refreshed. And Oakland has been pitching really bad lately. And they just make you, I mean, they played like we were supposed to play, and we played like they were supposed to play. Swear all of our starting pitchers are bipolar. Can we agree? Yes. You know why that is? Ball for life. We have a bunch of 3s and 4s. Actually, we have 1 3. Soriano's trying to be a 3 moving into a 2. And we have a bunch of 4s and 5s. So Big says it's a good analogy, but this team is just brutal. I don't know what will ever fix it. It's really Artie. It is Artie. 2 things, Big. And I can tell you this right now, and I'm going to get into the comments on the YouTube side and everything else like that. I'm just going with TikTok right now, but I'll just tell you this. 2 things that will change. If we can come to some sort of balance with analytics and small ball and a manager's gut, I think automatically we would start scoring 1 to 2 more runs per game on average. And then the number 2 thing would be, we've already did the development side and are working on the development side of pitchers in the farm system. But the other thing you need to do with that, give those guys time to get up here so we don't have to rush these guys. So we're not pinning all our hopes on Brennahan for next year. Sign some motherfucking capable starting pitching. Get 3 more starters. Just overpay for 1 and try to get 2 more Kikuchi-like contracts of mid-level pitchers. I'm sorry, a lot of people don't like Kikuchi. I've been hearing some things in like behind the scenes with our people on the inside. Kikuchi's a dick. But if he could pitch good, I'm all for it. And at times this year, he's got a pretty low ERA. He's definitely pitched better than Tyler Anderson. So if you can give me one more Kikuchi-like player, 3-year deal, pitches really good, keeps you in the game, I'm good with that. We need another starter to go along with Kikuchi and Soriano. Then you need to add a couple young guys, not guys that are 38 years old, not guys that are on their way out. Let's keep it a little bit young, or at least at 30 to 32 years old, and go from there. You're gonna have to overpay, but man, this is what we want. This is what we need. It's for the rotation. You can't be going out there just throwing the young kids out there to get crushed. No small ball, no win, especially Jay. That's for us. Not an excuse, but low key, these umps have been calling bad pitches. Yeah, the umpires haven't helped us either. But you got to play your best baseball, and they haven't played their best baseball. And when you have a stretch of 3 games against Oakland after you beat the Dodgers, help the Padres out. And we're sorry the Padres lost tonight. I really wanted them to win, and they fall just short. So all in all, a high of trolling Dodger fans the last 3 days on our social media, on here, at work, is all for naught. And it's back to the Dodgers winning and the Angels losing. So it really sucks to have a night like this where it's a huge letdown. And again, I'm not sitting here saying, okay, we're going to the playoffs after that 3-game series against the Dodgers. But what I'm saying is, man, I expected for once that they would come out with some more heart, play a lot better. And again, that play in left field by Taylor Ward, just lobbing it in, not really giving a shit when he had every opportunity to throw the guy out at home, or at least get the ball to Neto. Neto could throw him out. It really sucked, dude. Bubba says, get used to it. Hollywood says, Clase, Hader, Miller, Williams, pick one for your team. I would have took Clase, but, since a gambling thing, I would say Williams in a different spot. I think he's been really effed over in New York. I think he would be better here. I kind of wanted him before he left Milwaukee. So with that being said, let me talk about the game, shall we? 10 runs, 14 hits for the A's. They piled it on late. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Angels. After that 2-run homer, the Angels bowed out. 3 things that hurt the Angels tonight. Kikuchi had 80 pitches in the 3rd inning. That's inexcusable. That meant it was going to be a bullpen game before the 5th inning, or at the 5th inning onward. Then you had 2 opportunities once you got that home run to get shut down innings. You couldn't do it. You gave the 2 runs automatically right back in the bottom of the 5th. I felt that inning right there in the bottom of the 5th sealed the Angels deal right there, because you just get right back in the game. You're sitting there, you're feeling better about yourself, and then you give up 2 runs, and then, of course, the Angels go stagnant the rest of the way. And then 3 was just the inability to play small ball. They just went back to, hey, we got to hit that ball over the fence. So the swings were flat. They were terrible. And let me tell you something about this little baseball here. So when you're able to, and I knew the Angels were in trouble tonight, when you're able to have several players take Kikuchi to full count status, including 3 batters that saw 10 or 11 pitches. My manager said, even if you strike out and you're seeing more than 6 pitches in an at-bat, that's a good at-bat. And because back then, you got to remember, they valued the fact of not striking out. Now it's like, oh, you struck out. Okay, you got a couple more at-bats. They just gloss over it. They don't care. But for me, and back then when I played, strikeouts was a disappointment. Strikeout was the worst possible thing you could do out there. There was ways to be competitive. There was ways to get the ball as productive outs. But striking out was a no-no. And these players don't seem to give a shit, and that's all because of analytics. But when you're seeing the ball come out of the pitcher's hand, and they were probably picking up Kikuchi, because this slider was as flat as I've seen it all year. There was the seams. I mean, if you could read the seams on how they're rotating before it gets to you, not only are you locked in as a hitter, but the pitcher's not disguising that pitch enough, or not throwing it hard, or not having enough rotation on the ball for you not to be given another clue to realize what's coming down the plate. To me, it looked like the seams of the fastball looked like a beach ball, and there was not much movement as a usual Kikuchi outing. He wasn't busting those players in, and he wasn't utilizing the outside corners like he usually does against righties. So man, it was a tough watch, and you could kind of tell, like, man, we really needed a good start because Tyler Anderson's pitching tomorrow, and Tyler Anderson's has been pitching like Kikuchi has pitched in the last couple, like today. So, with that being said, the Angels struck out 13 times. We've gone over this ad nauseum. When they strike out less than 10 times, they have a winning record. When they strike out double digits or more, it's like 50% or less. They did work 4 walks. They've been consistent in that. But again, they left 6 men on base, runners in scoring position, 1 out of 7. Drove me mad. I believe it was in the 3rd inning. The Angels had the first 2 men on. It was either the 3rd or the 4th. They had the first 2 men on and did nothing. I think it was the 4th inning. They got like a fly out, strikeout, and a pop out, or a ground out, something like that. And I thought, man, they could get a good inning right there. Didn't get nothing. So Kikuchi's final line was 4 runs, 5 hits, 4 innings pitched, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed, 94 pitches in just 4 innings. Brogdon didn't do much better, just 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 3 hits. He didn't survive the 5th. Fulmer would mop up, and Fulmer's been really good. He had lowered his ERA down to about 2, but then now he just raised it up to 4.15 with a bad outing. He surrendered 4 runs in the 3 1/3. First loss to the A's, tough loss nonetheless, 10-3. Shonawell with another bad night, 0 for 4 at the plate, 2 strikeouts. You had Mike Trout with 2 walks. Taylor Ward, 1 hit, 1 for 4. Let's get into the awards real quick. I'm gonna just, well, yeah, no. Who gets the player of the game? We'll give the John Stamos Award. The John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field, and I think I'm going to give it to Nick Kurtz. You could give it to Thomas as well. He had a 3-run homer, I believe, tonight, but I'd say giving it to Kurtz because that dude is bad. I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year. He should be anyway. 24 homers, 65 RBIs, 305 batting average. First baseman right there. He had 4 home runs earlier this year. And again, 3 more hits for him. They got some scary hitters for the future and more to come as well. Who got Nacho Night, worst player of the field on the field?
For the worst performance of the night. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
Nacho Night Award goes to Kikuchi, man. We needed a start. We needed a better start, and it got nothing. Got nothing. Kikuchi did not pitch up even to a 3 as a starter. He came out there and was just, I mean, you're throwing that many pitches. You're not fooling anybody. Like I said, 2 or 3 times, just, seems just not moving on the baseball, and he's just getting eaten alive out there. And lucky a lot of those were fouled off. I mean, those could have went over the fence as well. Big Z says, so maybe bring in Framber Valdez, a guy like Kikuchi. I like that move too. He pitched with Kikuchi in Houston briefly. John Gray is a guy I wanted on the Angels the last 3 years, but magically he went to other teams. Zach Gallen would be a nice pickup, although he hasn't had the best season this year, so it would be a risk on 2 or 3 of those guys. Mike needs to come to the Dodgers. Oh, geez, here we go. Again, give us some of those farm hands. We'll take them at this point. Also, y'all can beat us, but never make it to the postseason. I know there's going to be some trolls, just not enough of you guys tonight to make it more fun. But again, that's probably a guy who doesn't know too much Dodger baseball. So that's okay. We'll give him a pass. So the Angels lose tonight and get smashed 10-3. They lose by a touchdown. And dude, frustrating is not. I don't think there's a word for it because again, we're not talking playoffs at all. We're not stupid. We knew this is a rebuild, if you can call it that, which is really not. It's more like a get back to 500 type year. Get close to 500, and it'll be good. And they're still thinking they're going to be around 75 to 77 wins. I don't think they're going to quite make it to 81 because this joke of a team can't string along wins unless it's against the Dodgers. So it's okay. He says, I do know about the Dodgers. When you made the postseason, buddy? 2014, dude. I mean, gone over this many a times, man. I mean, um, name me some players without Googling it from the 90s, or early 2000s even. So we can go back and forth with that, but it's cool, man. And it has been years ago. It's like, are we hiding it? No, but I know we whooped your ass. So what have you done for me lately? Is what we like to say. Does the world championship in 87 or 88 do anything for you guys? No, it did last year because you're the current champs, right? So none of that mattered before. Does the 2002 title make us better this year? No, that was eons ago. So it's the same shit. It's the same shit, dude. Like, what have you done for me lately? That's what you got to talk about, man. Live in the now, dude. And the now is we suck, and nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is we had so much fun beating the loud ass obnoxious Dodgers that we forgot about the A's. So that's where the letdown comes in. Bean says, I always like checking out other teams' lives. That was a pretty good one. I like the awards you do. Well, I appreciate it, Beans. We do a lot more too, and we usually take phone calls too because I'll put the link in on the YouTube side. Omar says, what happened? Y'all drain out all the energy out of playing the Dodgers. Yeah, we pretty much did everything. And tonight, after saying this to the Dodgers, the A's said this to us.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no!
Overhearing trying to rage bait while I'm chiefing a bleezy. You over here playing keyboard warrior. The sales going back and forth. So yeah, worry about the NL West. But that's my point though that I said last night. Dodger fans say, hey, we don't care about the rivalry. We don't, because there is none. We don't care about the Angels because we don't play them. They're nobody, right? Yet who's the ones that always, when the season schedule comes out, who do they want to see when is on their schedule? The Angels. All my Dodger friends at work, everybody I know always says, hey man, just wait till August till we get you guys in Anaheim. Yeah, because you can't afford your own damn stadium because your own team priced you out. Then they say, well, yeah, we don't care about you guys, yet they know where we're at in the standings. Yeah. We don't care about you guys, but our roster situation, right? Yeah. You don't care about us, but you're happy that we haven't won a World Series in a while. And you know exactly how many years it's been since we haven't made the playoffs. So there's that. And then, yeah, we don't care about you guys, but we know exactly how many games we're down in the overall head-to-head matchup with the Angels and Dodgers, because now the Angels have an 8-game lead, but before it was down to 2. So yeah, don't give me that bullshit. And Dodger fans are so listen. There's some that are good, but there's a lot of assholes out there. A lot of assholes. Like, all you got to do is go on TikTok, Instagram, and look at all the fights. They try to pick fights with Angel fans, and yes, there were some pretty nasty ones. One guy got a freaking felony assault charge, and he could be up for a long time. He straight curb stomped that dude's head after he already fell back and hit his head on the chair. Then you see all these videos of Dodger fans fighting each other. So it's like, man, they try to pick a fight with the opponent, and they're like, nah, you're not going to fight me? Nah, let's fight each other. So yeah, you guys got some anger issues, man. I swear to God, anger issues. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. Artie is making it hard to be an Angels fan. Dude, tell me something I don't know, Jay. That it's been tough. I feel like the Angels do have to shop Trout this season. No one's gonna touch that contract. Every single fan base does this, LOL. But people love to point out the Dodgers. Not true. The Yankees do it. Mets do it. Phils do it to their division rivals, but for the most part, it's not on the damn level the Dodgers do it. Trust me, it's not on the level the Dodgers do it. Dodgers, even when it took them 40 years to win a chip, another one, they still go crazy and on social media and everything. Mateo checks in on YouTube and he says, "You know what? I don't give a shit if we won or lost. It's Spritz o'clock."
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
To JA's point right there, he's right. You can't tailgate Dodger Stadium. I'm surprised they still serve beer there, only because they sell it for $23 a goddamn tall can. But that, yeah, they almost killed the Giants fan. There's been stabbings, there's been shooting. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dodger fans can't control themselves. Not every fan base is like that, but there are quite a few that are, but they're not on the Dodgers level.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out. Calm down, okay? All right? He's fat!
Tyler says, dry ass Kikuchi tonight. Fuck my life. Jebby says, thank you for recognizing not all fans are obnoxious ones. They're not. I like I said, I've been, even before Dodger Stadium went corporate, yeah, there was Raider Nation in the pavilion at Dodger Stadium, but I was able to walk through there. Maybe it's because I'm a big guy. No one fucked with me, but, you know, there's definitely some intimidating people out there, and they did say a lot of crazy shit. But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, man, you want to give me some extra money by trying to beat my ass? Go for it. You take the first punch. You better land it, because if you don't, I'm gonna fuck you up. So that's how I played it. But yeah, I mean, I never go to these games like wanting to fight. I've never been in a fight at a stadium. In the parking lot one time, and that was only because I was stepping in because they were jumping my friend. But the most part is this. What I usually do at a game, it's like you never go personal, you never go racial, you never go family or nothing like that. You just you just keep it to the person or the team. I should say you should make fun of the team, try to be as creative as possible. But you never talk shit about family, religion, obviously. Race, anything else like that. That's stupid. And when it goes to that point, which some fan bases have done, you see what happens. It's not a good look. Let's see. You one of 25 Angels fans, baby Brandon. What happened to the guy from the Warriors interested in buying the team? They can't do nothing with a team until it's actually put on the market. There's definitely many people that want to buy this team, but no one's going to buy this team. You should never throw blows at a game. I agree, Jebby. It's dumb. Is dumb. Something I wasn't so happy reading. They said that they fully expect Rendon to play for us in 2026. That's a problem. They'll never eat Rendon's contract, and they will never eat Trout's contract. Grillmaster says, "Me love you long time." I'm only going to play a few of these tonight.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny. And me love you long time.
He also says that didn't go as planned. You could say that again. Also, yeah, well, this team sure did suck tonight. This team did suck tonight. Bad loss, dude.
One more loss, which could have been a win. You call yourselves professionals. I have never, ever seen a worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team. You all got your heads so far up your butts, you can't even see the light of day. Each and every one of you.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Damn right. Let's see. Also, Mateo says 714 tickets. If you want tickets to a game, any team, any stadium, cross country in the world, if they have it on 714 tickets in a concert, use HITI in the promo code and you can get 10% off. Also, go to Max Market Pros to help your website grow. You can just go to maxmarketpros.com and mention HITI right there, and they'll give you a discount there. Then also with us, with the Angels, we're the only ones that do podcasts and post games and actual interviews with players, not like Locked on Cox or Cocked on Locks, whatever they call each other. And we don't eat yummy, tasty nuts. And my boys root for the Angels, and we all go to Dover and Angel games. Well, that's cool. I mean, like, look, I live 15 minutes from Angel Stadium, but I'm a diehard Dodger fan. That's cool. I mean, you grew up how you grew up, man. You grew up who you like rooting for. Like, I'm from the Inglewood area. I'm not OC. I grew up in Inglewood, and I chose the Angels because my dad chose the Angels, and his dad chose the Angels when they weren't even in the league yet. My grandpa was an Angel fan when they were Pacific Coast League playing at Wrigley Field. And so, yeah, that's how long we've been Angel fans. So I miss Guerrero, Ibar, Kendricks, Matthews. Yeah, and Napoli. Gary Matthews Jr. didn't really like that player. Over under 20% playoff chance. It's like 3% right now. Let's see. Being a Dodger fan isn't an issue. It's how you act that is the issue. That is true. That is damn true right there. Tyler says the dreaded and cursed day off after some momentum. This team is backwards as fuck. What the fuck? Angels lost the game to the Athletics. Eric Ward, my man, checks in with, if Kikuchi's an ace, then I'm Nolan Ryan. Do the average is best. Another subpar signing by Perry. This pitching staff is pure dog shit. I have more faith in my local high school team. If this team had gotten a number 2 or a number 1, legit, this team would be more fun to watch. But you also got to take away the analytics. Angels are not making the playoffs. They're not. And you take away the analytics and you get some more decent pitching. Even with the bullshit pitching we've had this year, this team's got 10 or more wins. Typical Angels bullshit, Chris says. Grillmaster says, so close, not yet so close no matter how far. Couldn't mean much more from the heart. And he's doing Metallica. I really hope Perry gets fired. This piece of shit has failed for so many years and levels as GM. We haven't developed one fucking star in 5 years. 5 fucking years. Let that sink in. Tyler says Pat Murphy from the Brewers would bench Ward's ass. Dude, no kidding, dude. I can't stand the way he plays in the outfield. Jay says Perry isn't the issue. Big says, I think it was wrong sitting O'Hoppe when he had just gained confidence after the Freeway Series. Well, here's the thing, Biggs. You know why they're sitting him? They're sitting him because his poor performance at pitch calling. He has been crossed up a bunch of times. And because he's not that good behind the plate, pitchers don't have confidence in him. So a guy like Hendrick and a guy like Kikuchi actually prefer him behind the plate. So that takes away at bats from him. And the problem is, too, if Trout would play outfield again, you could actually have him DH and you could rotate him and Darnold if you want to, but you can't do that. Let's see. Also, the LA Dodos botched investigation says also this team kicks us fans in the nuts. Speaking of nuts, Cockdon has this message for all of you.
On everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Dino says, I'm trying to figure out why we didn't trade Ward at the deadline. Eric says Perry overvalued Ward and asked for too much. He's an idiot. There's your answer. Dan Rios says the LA Dodos beat the Padres. Botched investigation says is the name of as being buttercupped after how we played against LA douchers. Yeah, dude, we were buttercup big time, dude. So speaking of buttercup.
Dear little buttercup, won't you stay out? When? You and I will settle down in a cottage built for two. Dear little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, my little buttercup, I love you.
And a comment on TikTok says, same here. I live 10 minutes away from Dodger Stadium, but my grandpa would tell me about Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field, if you haven't seen it before, Google it. It looks pretty cool. It had a big ass clock tower in the beginning where you walk in for the the tickets. And I will say this too: if you've never seen it before, it was a weird looking stadium, but it was cool. It looked like Wrigley Field because it was built by the Wrigley family from Chicago. They were the ones that sold the Angels to the Cowboy. But I will say this too about Wrigley Field and Dodger Stadium, or actually Wrigley Field. Um, you know, it would have been nice to keep it around because you had some historic things happen there, such as Martin Luther King gave a freaking what is it called, a big speech there. I think one of his first trips to LA, or it was either before or after the riots. He gave a speech there before they tore it down. All that's left is a freaking plaque. That's kind of sad. It was a pretty interesting stadium. How the fuck do we lose to the Athletics after we sweep the Dodgers? That's what we've been trying to figure out all night. Aside from Rendon, which player was the biggest disappointment that didn't pan out? For me, it's Walsh. No, I would say this, Jebby. I mean, there's been bad players that have come through here. People get mad at contracts like Mo Vaughn, Hamilton, Gary Matthews Jr., C.J. Wilson. The list can go on. The one that I say that didn't make it through and didn't finish out his contract or didn't live up to anything, I'd say would be Brandon Wood. But you can't beat number 6. Number 6 is in a category all by himself. I mean, that guy is just a total asshole to the fans, to the league, to the game, and he's just terrible. A terrible human being. Mateo says, I think the only saving grace was not having Patio on the game. True. Also, you got Tony C saying, Taylor Ward, why would you have not thrown the ball to second base? Ray Montgomery sucks. Why do you leave Kikuchi in so long? It was a pathetic game. They got stomped on. See you in 2026. Smash, like, and share. John Stamos choked on botched investigation, apparently. Where is that one right there?
John Stamos choked on me.
Wait.
John Stamos choked on me.
Oh, man. Dan Rio says, he says, hey, we suck again. Hey.
Oh, no. We suck again.
Also, I'm not a fan of Soriano, says Mateo. Also, Artie Moreno, Perry Manassian's fault. Angels need to hopefully get this team audited so we could sell the team. Also, I'm not a fan of this entire pitching staff. EQ says, is it possible to still get Bieber and Joe Ryan? Bieber should be a free agent in the offseason. Joe Ryan's under contract, so they'll have to work something with the Twins. This team is equivalent to blue balls. They just shove and they love to just tantalize you, but ultimately you don't get shit. Brandon Castro says, why do you think the A's hit so many foul balls today? That's what I was explaining earlier. The foul balls on the baseball, 2 things. The spin rate to where you can't see the seams. When it's on, it's on. You can't see it, you're guessing. It's guesswork up there. Then you're looking at the movement of the ball. If it starts out over the plate on the outside corner of the plate and then it dips into you like this, it's going to land over the middle. If it starts out over the middle and you see a little bit of curving in on you, it's going to bust you in. And if it starts belt high, for the most part, unless it's a fastball on a line, it's going to remain where it's at. For the most part, it's going to be down in the zone or out of the zone low. So all that's got to be going through your head. And guess what? The pitch gets to you in about 2.3 seconds sometimes. So the thing is, you got to make a split-second decision before you do anything. And coming out of the pitcher's hands. So I think they were reading the ball really good out of Kikuchi. He didn't have much movement, and they were seeing the seams of the of the baseball. That's why they were able to pick up on it, because there shouldn't have been that much contact. Again, like when I played, and you see 6 to 8 pitches in a bat, and you strike out, your manager's coming over to you like, man, hell of an at bat. And then the guy in the on deck circle is like, what did you notice? How did you get that many pitches? And you just whisper into his ear, I picked this up, I picked that up. That's the value of seeing that many pitches. And that's why I was going to say Oakland, Vegas or Sacramento had so much luck against Kikuchi tonight. Tony C said also, can Nolan Ryan come out of retirement, overpay for Framber Valdez? I think that would be a good pickup. We can say we could pick up, hey, the Monkeys, the A's did a good job of fouling off balls like crazy. Instead of creme brulee, it's creme brulee. Also, remember, say Nick's name slow. Yes, exactly. Frustrated is an understatement as well. LV says, we're so fucked. Also, Mateo says, this is my opinion, but we do finish the season 81 and 81. I do think the same thing. Thank you, Halo Boots, there for the contribution right there. Brogdon played horrible tonight. Also, these are games we shouldn't be losing. Damn right, Adrian. Chris says we do need a new owner, plain and simple. No matter what we do, the owner will always ruin our momentum. Well, again, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, we have an opportunity. We'll see a chance here in October or November. The city of Anaheim comes in with that crucial audit. And if that audit comes through fucking over our boy Artie Moreno, then there could be a for sale sign in front of Anaheim. Right now, the only way I think Artie skirts around it is if the audit is at a minimum of $300 to $500 million. And that way Artie could say, okay, I'll retrofit the stadium, but you give me the land and I'll re-up and I'll renegotiate the lease to pay more per year. So he'll start giving money to the city of Anaheim. He'll get the land that he so badly wants, and he could redevelop that and make up the $500 million. However, if the stadium's in worse condition, which I hope it is, which I think it is, you're talking upwards of $1.5 to $2 billion of renovation to the stadium. There's no fucking way he's going to pay for that and take the loss of revenue during the construction time, because no monster trucks, no faith healing conventions, no tough mudders, none of that stuff can take place at his stadium. No high school football games in the offseason, none of that stuff can take place. None of that revenue will be there. So that's why there's some hope for that audit coming up here in the fall. Don says, clown ass Dodger fans still get butthurt. They get swept. Why the fuck are they in this chat to begin with? This is a Halo page. Mo says, bitch ass Dodger fans still crying. You got owned. Go cry on your cock shaped pillow. Wow. Eric says, we lost 99 games last year. If we win 81, that's a hell of an improvement. That's what we're talking about too. Dodgers fans, please go away. Just you beat your opponent tonight. That's all that matters. Don also says, we just didn't have it tonight. I mean, that's only the first game of the A's have beaten us all year. They're vastly improved from last year. They need pitching. That's what's killed us for years now. Don follows that up with saying, exactly, Todd, those fools always say they don't care about us, but they always keep around like they always do. Chris says, I think Artie will be trying to walk away like McCourt did with the Dodgers parking lot. He might just do that. And how cheap they are when it comes to players' equipment. They're cheap on everything. They got excited and tried to say, hey, man, we're pumping $25 million into the spring training facility, which has needed it for like 30 years, number one. Then they said, oh, we got a new workout facility out there and everything. It looked like a glorified Planet Fitness, except all the workout stuff wasn't purple. It was red. I don't think the players want to sign with us because of what happened to Skaggs. That's part of it. But the other part is the Angels don't keep guys very long. There's a lot of player turnover, and they lowball players. That's the real reasons right there. I said we bring in Michael King or Ranger Suarez. Both are still young. It was cool to see the Angels defeat the Dodgers. There are pitchers that we can go to. Went this year, laugh out loud. Spring training stadium is rough. It's probably, Angie, with all the stadiums they have in the greater Tempe area or around the Arizona area, it's the worst one. There was a time when that was one of the nicest ones, but you can go to the Dodgers/White Sox facility. There's a few other stadiums I've been to. The Giants one's really nice. I like that one. There's some good ballparks in Arizona to watch baseball in the spring. Todd, will you be at the stadium next Saturday? Yes, I will. Dan says Artie isn't crying. He's having a stroke. Can I say something? Who came up with Spritz O'Clock? Spritz O'Clock was a commercial they played 2 years in a row, which there was a girl that came on. It was talking about Kettle One vodka, and it was on the radio AM 830, and they would play it like every inning. So like the Deos, it got me annoyed. So you know how I can make fun of this? The Spritz O'Clock was the same shit, because every time I would listen to Terry and Langston, they go to commercial, and then I'd hear the little guitar playing And then the girl would say, "It's spritz o'clock. Just take a little botanical spritz in your juice or vodka and blah blah blah." I was like, "Dude, shut the hell up!" And it just got annoying after a while. So then we just decided to make that little cut scene. Let's see. Also, what about Dustin May? He'll be 27. No, listen. Dustin May looks like he has all the skills, big G's. But he's got way too many health issues. He gets hurt way too much. Tyler says definitely improved from last year. We're all beyond myopic this time of year. Tony C says, when are we going to learn our lesson? We re-signed Sean Anderson tonight 2 hours ago. That's awesome. Third time back. This is like the third or fourth time, right? I guess we could get Squid back from the Yankees. Might as well at this point. Saucy says, standard Angels after an emotional win. If only it's a consolation, the 66ers have turned it all around and look badass. At least that's close to where you're at. Dan says, Dodger fan in a police pursuit right now, asshole in a Mustang in Glendale. Yeah. Saucy says, I still think we can get 2 out of 3, by the way. A police pursuit in LA doesn't surprise me. Botch says, where's the old Wrigley Field now? It's long been demolished. It's actually in a park. And like I said, there's like soccer fields around where it's at now, where I'm surprised they didn't develop it into housing. But it's something else too. But I do know that there's a plaque there, and that's it. Like it says the Angels used to play there, and Martin Luther King gave a very famous speech. Got Todd on my phone in the pursuit of my TV. That's good right there. Also, I'm an Angels fan because of Tim Salmon. He is from Long Beach, and I'm from Long Beach too. There you go, Jesus. Mateo says, Todd, thanks for all the stuff again. Shirt and hat are fire. You're welcome, my friend. Tamir 20 says Kikuchi was trashed tonight, and of course the Angels would lose to a last place team coming off a sweep. Jerry says bring up Silseth, and then Purple People Eater says Artie is the worst owner in sports. Now he is for sure. I just want the rally monkey back. I'm tired of the video at the games. They don't even play him anymore. That's a Disney dispute. Oh, and if you want breaking news, by the way, if you don't have tickets for the Angels and I think it's the Reds, or it might be I think it's the Reds. I don't know. I have to check. Whenever they play, the Ducks night will be the last Ducks night until Artie sells. Inside sources told me that the Ducks, the Samuelsons, are in a very big disagreement with the Angels organization, namely Artie. And the only reason why the Angels have that cooler, whatever the hell it is, on tap for a giveaway is because that was under contract or already written in, that was purchased a while ago. So the Ducks don't have an Angels game this year during the regular season. They refuse to work with the Angels, and the Angels refuse to work with the Ducks. So there's that. So that long running partnership is gone. And Angels usually don't do much with Disney since the Cowboys passed. Last year was surprising. They gave away that Mickey Mouse bobblehead. That was pretty cool, but I was shocked that they did something with them. But no Disney this year, I don't think so far, other than Star Wars. That's Artie. Artie in a nutshell. You've got money makers to the north of you, just across the street, and to the west of you with Disneyland. And they had Stitch. There you go. They had Stitch this year. But if I'm the Angels, I'm having multiple promotions with Disney. I don't understand it. Let's see. But O'Hoppe isn't picking the pitches. The coach is. He's still got to be on the same wavelength. Zach Kozar was a bad one. Also, Trent Rush is probably, what is it called? Honking his honk. Botch says, good news. The season starts today.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Also, Dan says, there's Dodgers fans in here. Aren't they supposed to be reporting to the parole officer? Not on this page. Damn. Also, I did hear rumors that Tempe might be built on an Indian burial ground. That's long since been debunked. Awesome, Todd. You will see me, my coworker buddy, next weekend. There you go, grill. Also, Todd Fox, will you go to a Rocket City Trash Panda game or Salt Lake Bees? Not this year. I'm planning on it next year. HITI is the best post game show ever. Fuck Locked on Cock. Thank you. The FanDuel sports jingle. Oh, yeah. You mean this one here? You want to hear the let's see, you got this one. Well, I get it, Carlos. They went there, but that's like a photo op. I mean, like they don't have too many things. Like I don't know if you guys and gals remember, but Angel Stadium, like when it was still owned by the Cowboy, uh, Gene Autry, you had Disney figurines in the stadium. You had Disney paintings on the wall. It just got more and more as the Angels took over full control, or Disney took over full control of the Angels. I'll give you that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that they used to do a lot more with, and the fact that you don't see the rally monkey as much in the stores. You see a few of them, but you don't see the different creations that they used to have. You don't see them on the Jumbotron as much, as because Disney gets paid for that. That is their creation. So that's not an Artie thing. Artie wishes he could come up with something, but the best he could do so far is, and that's not his either. Also, love hearing that after Gooby is done glazing the Dodgers and Ohtani. Lewis says, but if they Artie sells, don't you think the possibility of the Angels leaving will increase? It will always increase, but my thing is this: he signed the lease through 2030, so there's no reason why he's going to leave. My thing is he will try to push, because by the time, I think he's fucked either way, because at one point you're going to have a strike in 2027. You got already franchises ready for realignment. There's going to be new divisions in baseball once they add the two new franchises, and those two new franchises are likely going to go to two markets that already have teams in place. Like you already have the Nashville, they're already ready for a team. The Orlando is already ready for a team. They're likely going to take Tampa. Portland's putting together a collaboration to get a team. There's South Carolina, there's freaking North Carolina, and there's Montreal, and there's Utah. So Artie would have to sell the team to one of those potential owners, or he would have to pay the relocation fee. So you're talking about, if he has to retrofit the stadium, he's going to have to do that anyway to break the lease, to even have a chance to break the lease. And then number two, he would have to pay another $500 to $1 billion for the relocation fee. I don't think he has that. You can't do all that. So at some point, there's going to be, no reason for him to go. And plus, he has a sweeter deal here. They used to give away stormtroopers, rally monkeys, and Chewbacca. True. Signing off for tonight. We'll get those damn Oakland, Sacramento A's tomorrow and the next day. Good night to you, man. Good night to you too. Let's see. Also, I think the players celebrated too hard on Wednesday. Probably. I think Kikuchi was hungover from the whiskey. Daniel says, if the A's sweep just like the White Sox, no way 500 shit Angels will be passed by the A's. Artie Moreno is the new Dan Snyder. Baldwin says we can get 2 out of 3 if we can actually stretch our bats. Swung at too many first pitches tonight. Also, I'm telling you, I want to get that. Want to get the Reds back. Yeah, the Reds swept us. They are 6-0 against us in the last 2 years. Also, when do we call up Ryan Johnson? He may be ready next season, or at the very last at September. Also, we got to go after Goodrum in the off season. Yeah, right. Next season, the Angels go back to playing in Rancho Cucamonga. Sega Boy says, I got a lot to say, dude. Trout needs the load management. We need Peraza in there, Renifo and Ohapi in there. We punted this fucking game away. We did. We sure did. Also, Dan Snyder is the most perfect composition, or comparable to Artie Moreno. Meddlesome legal scandals in a bad stadium and severe renovations. Yeah, I'm right there with you right there. Also, hopefully the new owner will have giveaways for everyone in attendance instead of 25,000. Rada, Johnson, Denzier, Rio, Lugo, Aldegari, Nateri, and Southard, as far as he wants to go in with all these pitchers. Is Bremer a part of the starting rotation next season? He's got a ball out in the minors or this year and then he needs to have a really good spring training to have a shot. But I would have to say that he's going to be getting a cup of coffee there and then coming up possibly in July or August of next year if everything goes all right. Jesus says, good night, Todd Fox and everybody. Good night, Jesus. I'll be wrapping it up here soon, too. Jack says Trout needs to ditch that leg kick. Yeah, the leg kick is slowing him down. Look what happened with Neto. Neto got better, like you said, and Adele. Corey, the talk was about the Ducks not wanting anything to do with the Angels. This will be the last Angel Duck giveaway coming up here. It's not going to continue into the Duck season in 2026 either for the Angels. So, yeah, you got that. In my inside sources told me that there was a huge argument. Samuelis are on the side of the city of Anaheim. That's one of the reasons why they got that big, beautiful area, the OC vibe going, because if you think about it, Artie hates the Samuelis because the Samuelis got and have gotten done more than what he came up with the idea to do the first OC vibe, and it was supposed to be on the Angels side. But yeah, it didn't happen. He screwed him over. He screwed the city over, screwed the former mayor over. The mayor screwed himself over. That's why he's in federal prison. So, yeah, Artie's got some dirt on his hands, to say the least. And he's pissed off at the Samuelis because they're worth $41 billion right now. I think Artie Moreno's worth $3 to $4 billion only. So basically, they took what Artie's worth and said, "Hey, city of Anaheim, don't pay for any of this. Don't use taxpayer money, and we'll fund the entire damn thing." And guess what? They funded the whole thing. All of that is theirs, and they're going to sweeten it up by letting the city reap some of the rewards of the parking, of everything, the tickets, everything that they're going to get out of that, the taxes, the jobs. I mean, it's beautiful what the Samuelis did, and they are truly Orange County. Can't say the same for Artie Moreno. He's fucked over the city many times. He continues to do so. He's a big dickhead. Nobody likes him. He's not out there in the community. He's just an asshole, and he is right now the worst owner in all of sports. I can't think of another one. I really can't. Some people say, "Oh, Jerry Jones." Jerry Jones gets the Cowboys to the playoffs. Jerry Jones packs out that stadium. He may meddle a lot. He may be really stupid and in front of the press conference and doing all this other shit. But he built the eighth wonder of the world, which is the new stadium over there in Dallas. He's done a lot for the community. He's done a lot for the players. If you ask the players love him. You can't say the same thing about Artie Moreno. You ever hear the players get interviewed and they say, "Hey, you love Artie Moreno?" It's never asked because it's not a possibility of being answered in any kind of way that looks like a shot. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just it's not going to happen unless things go the way we hope it does down the stretch here. Nacho Guy travels to every stadium to get E. coli. He said he gets diarrhea. Saloni says Japanese media loves pumping Ohtani striking out Trout. They put it on their top 10 plays of the week. Is striking out an aging Trout such a big deal? Whatever. We still beat the Smurf asses anyway. Yeah, I mean that should be more headline than freaking Trout getting struck out. Also, A's owner John Frisch might be worse. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and this is where I might piss off an A's fan, if there is any. The A's did the city of Oakland did nothing for the A's in trying to help them get that stadium. They blocked Fisher for years. They blocked him for years. And if you've ever been to Oakland, getting there, you have to go through Skid Row to get there. Drugs, homeless people, gangs. There's nowhere to drink. There's nowhere to eat. It's really ghetto, super ghetto. And you come out of there scared. There's no security. It's the city never did anything to beautify that stadium to help the team out, because the team did make them money in the long run when they did and were playing better. So I'll say that. But at the end, Fisher was an asshole because he could have worked something out, but he was too cheap. He wanted the city to pay at least half, if not more. So that's where he was wrong. But I would say Artie Moreno's been given chances by the city. The city is only renting that stadium to him and that land for $1 a year. So it's not the city's fault here in Anaheim. They've been trying to help him broker a deal, but he's so goddamn greedy. He wants all of it for practically nothing. You mean to tell me, listen, the condominium that's on the corner in front of Bruheim across the street from 7-Eleven is worth more money in the end than what Artie was asking for that entire area. Like $250 million with all the revenue that comes in on those condos is easily made up in a couple years. And he was asking for that entire freaking lot, dude. He wants his cake and eat it too. That fucker, I swear, dude, the more and more you read into Artie, the more and more he just doesn't give a fuck. And owners like that in baseball need to go. They need to go. Like, I want owners in there that want to win. Like in the NFL, they've weeded out most of the owners that just don't give a shit. Like the Carolina owner's a dumbass. The Saints owner, her husband died, but he wasn't very smart. She's running the team into the ground. There's certain franchises that are just going to be perennial losers till they sell the team, right? But for the most part, most of those teams in the NFL will win at certain times. They'll turn it around. It's quicker to rebuild in the NFL. Basketball, you got owners that just are there to get the paycheck and the revenue sharing. You know, they could care less. Like your Charlotte Hornets, other teams like that this lose and they don't care. Baseball's got those teams too, man. But at least you get teams like the Royals that are tired of losing at some point. They turn it around. But then you got the Pirates owner, you got the Angels owner, you got the Rockies owner, you got the Marlins owner. There's just about a good 6 teams in baseball that their owners just need to sell for the betterment of the game and the betterment of the fans. But it hasn't happened, and because it hasn't happened, you're going to have the perennial losers. You're never going to get nowhere. We have optimism because we have prior winning, but for the most part, I mean, do we actually think when this season started that we were going to the playoffs? You know, like, do the Rockies think they're going to the playoffs? Do the Pirates think they're going to the playoffs? Do you think the Marlins are going to the playoffs? No, they're already in their minds, already toast, you know, and that's kind of sad. I don't want to be like that, but we've been like that. Doesn't Billy Bean own a piece of the A's? Billy Bean is dead. Sega Boy says it's close to MacArthur Park, laugh out loud, Ghetto Silver Lake, Ghetto Echo Park. Let's see. Also, they didn't even mention Neto's almost unassisted triple play. Damn Dodger Glazers. Yeah, it was bad night tonight. Hey, Gooby, let's jump on the Hyundai and take over and see what's on the Munchie Mill. Not playing the Dodgers tonight, and we lose. Let's see. Also, Moneyball was a great movie. Yeah, it's all right. All these graphics and stuff for 16 viewers, Stunna says. Well, 16 that are currently on right now on TikTok. We're on YouTube and also, what is it called? If you can see the messages coming up on the other side on X and all that other stuff. We got, what is it, 75 over there. So it's not like it was last night when there was like 3, or not last night, the night before when we had like 300-400 people on. So yeah, fuck yourself. Corey says, I was hearing Artie might keep Perry and Ray Montgomery. It's true because they're cheap. They're super cheap. That's why the Warriors left too. Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams left up there. The Raiders left as well. So when was the last time Artie was at Cena Angel Stadium? He snuck up in there. Shit. I want to say a month ago. Something like that. Like a month ago, he was in one of the press boxes or whatever. And he was like literally in a dark press box. So it wasn't even like lit. You know, like he didn't want anyone to see him. Justin Option says at least the Angels swept the Dodgers. 16 loyal fans watching. There you go. See, don't knock it. TikTok's where it's at, I guess. I mean, you go from having the other night we had like 100 and something in there, and then you had like 200 in on what is it, X, and you had another 100. So actually it was 400. So yeah, go fuck yourself, Stunner. When you get graphics like this and you get your own live stream going to where people give a shit what you're saying, then we'll talk. So whatever, dude. But all in all, you know, it's all about the fans. And I And I like Angie says, we appreciate you, just so you know, and I appreciate you guys and gals because you guys are on here loyal as no matter what. And we'll have nights where it's like low turnout, and again, we're not playing a world beater either, so it's even more embarrassing to come on. So again, we had last year we had 200-300 people watching on the last couple games of the season, and you know how bad last year turned out. So there is a loyal fan base here. I can just imagine, or I can't imagine the days when this team gets back to the postseason. And when this team gets back to the postseason, because it will come, but whenever it does, who knows? But when we get there, I won't be able to read all the comments. This show will have to be structured a different way, like a lot of the streamers, which I hate. I love reading the comments because, and except when you guys are going back and forth with you guys, with between people, I don't read those obviously. Or if it's like it's been said before or said over and over, like Grill Master, I skip those. But I like to get everyone involved, get their names out there if I can, and be part of the show, because that's how I liked to do or watch some of my shows, or the ones that would make the fans part of the game. And that's why I want to get back with the phone calls. Like last year we had phone calls all year. This year we really haven't done it because what is it called? They changed up the Skype, which they made it a business thing. And we used to have it to where it was just Skype. We gave you the number, you guys could call in. We did quick takes, we did long conversations depending on the game. So I hope to get the right phone system in here, because I have to get one that works with StreamYard. That's the hardest thing to do. StreamYard's very funky too. So once I can get one on here, because the only other thing I could do is put a link out if you're on YouTube, and you could click the link and get in. Otherwise, I really don't have that back to back, like the automatic conversations that we used to have. So I want to get back to that eventually, but my thing is, I would love to get back to playoffs and seeing it. And I appreciate that, Tyler. Best post game show, period. Dimitro's comment right there at Todd. I figured the show would be blowing up. The comment reading will go eventually. That's the thing. Like you said, Dimitro, like I don't want it to go, and I don't want it to be like if it were to blow up and it's going super fast to where I can't even read shit, and it's just like, that would be a problem for me. I'd have to get a moderator. I already talked to what do you call it? The producer to the stars, Randy, that he would probably have to highlight certain comments, because if I'm not able to read them on both screens, and I'm focusing on what I'm talking about, or I hit a talking point or stats, he could put them up on the screen. So like he would highlight it, and then you just have to do a comment that maybe, that people like, or that he would like, and then that would get on there. So hopefully, I don't want it to get to that point. I do want it to grow, but I know that's one of the bad things about a live stream growing is, because trust me, I remember all the OGs that started with me a couple years ago, and I don't want to pass them over because they've been here since day one. So I'll figure out something to where it won't be that kind of crap. You know what I mean? I want people's voices, and because even if your comments are going in the chat like they were the other night and they're going super fast, I want everybody to, I want everybody to feel a part of the show. I don't like being pushed aside. I wouldn't want to be pushed aside. So I want you guys to be your voices heard, and especially when there's something on your mind, you want to get out there. You want me to know about it. You want the other fans to know about it. It's one thing to be in the comments, but it's another thing for it to be read and then also commented on, and then other people will feed off of that, because that's where this show goes. It's like basic, but it's so awesome at the same time, because I always like to say, hey, like I could start a show, I could have what I want to say, I could critique the game, but then when I get to the comments, you guys and gals take the show wherever the hell it goes, not me, because then I'm giving you the platform. You guys are telling me what's on your mind, what you took out of the game, and then we go from there. That's what makes this show so great, and that's what I've always wanted in a show that I would follow. Just never got one like this, so I decided to make one myself. And then the way we do the podcast too, it's the same kind of shit. We want fans to be interactive with us and let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll do it. Angels get a World Series hangover. I appreciate you too as well, Adrian. By the time we make the playoffs, we won't be around. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not the case. The only podcast that says real shit about this team. Thank you, Carlos. Really appreciate that. Huncho says, lived in the OC my whole life and finally watching Angels baseball. Glad I found your page to know info. Hey, I appreciate you, Huncho, and enjoy the baseball, and hopefully it gets better soon. Corey says, I hope the owner and the group gives Artie a good amount of offers so Artie could sell. Again, they won't he's got to put it up for sale, man. I mean, you could throw everything at him right now. He ain't going to sell. I would mod the TikTok side. Well, maybe hit me up in the what is it? My email, Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. When did you start this, and what made you start it? Enjoy baseball and the Angels in the same sentence. I just, I've always wanted a show that would be good, and I started over at Angels Central, which is over there on what is it, Instagram, and I did only a couple shows for them, and then the guy was telling me how to run the show. It's like, hey, well, if you're paying me, I'll do it exactly how you want to do it, but you're not paying me. And he had he has like 17,000 followers. And I'm cool with him now because they changed owners. Like, he sold the page to another dude. But at the time, another dude was running it, and me and him were butting heads. And so I was like, dude, man, I really want to run this my way. And so we didn't see eye to eye. And then my friend Fernando, who liked the show, he was like one of the first listeners. And he was like, hey, man, can you want to start a page? And we started Halos in the Infield 3 years ago. And it was real small. And I just continued to do post games. We continued to do a podcast, and it slowly got going. And I think where we got clout is we developed some relationships inside the stadium behind the scenes. And then we also got players to get involved with. We did charity work, and then we got players. We've interviewed several players, past, former, and current. And so it was good. It was good, and I think that's how we got. That's how we got going. Also, we are more involved. Thank you, Sega Boy. Not like cucked on with Mike and John. Yeah, I can't stand those assholes, dude. I just can't. I have so many reasons why I hate those guys. Big Red says, fell asleep halfway through the Seahawks game. Damn, that O-line was making holes for Charbonnet. And their offensive line looks good this year. Halo Boots says, Mr. Beast. He's hoping for Mr. Beast. By the way, dig those boots. I saw those boots on Halo Boys on Instagram. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen you in person, but damn, those boots are, you can't get away from those. Silent E says, I know Todd and HITI will always do their best to bring quality content and involves the fans as much as possible. HITI is a great show now, and will always be great. And by the way, Silent E and his stuff that he does from Japan, man, over there on Substack, you got to give him a read. If you don't have a Substack or don't know what it is, look it up, create one, and follow us, because our boy does excellent work over there writing behind the scenes for us right there. Let's see. I thought Artie said any ridiculous, stupid offer and he might sell. I don't know. I can't believe a word he says until it actually happens. I remember Trucker Hat Trivia. Yeah, that was fun. I do want to get back to that, but again, we have to do some other shit. Big Red says, I remember Big 20 first came on. Yeah, he's been way too busy. I know he's been trying to call lately, but we don't have the phones up. Pacific Coast League says, late, but I wish I found you in 2021. At least I found you pre-thong. Yeah, when I wore the thong, man. This team screwed me over more than you know. Also, you got Hi, I'm Grill Master. Welcome to the Halos of the Great White North. Oh, yeah, I missed that too. I missed Drunk Artie, Claus, and Marcia. She'll be coming back here soon. Ricky says, yeah, but ridiculous offer would have to be record-breaking number and would not be worth it. I think it's going to go for $2.5 billion. Sega says, nipple, Todd. No, let's not do that. Ruben says, I'm going to try to make the Reds game. Let me know, Ruben, and come find me in 260, man, for sure. Again, shout out to all you HITI OGs. Yes, For sure, man. The real ones remember the golden dong. Man, we got to come up with a new one, man, because a lot of you fans dug that stuff, and I got to get back to some of that stuff because that's part of the show, man. I mean, like, we're able to keep you engaged, do some things that are, like we have our guy that comes in. People think it's multiple people, but it's only one guy that does all the voices that we had for our call-ins and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We got a good setup. Todd, what position did you play in high school? I played left field. Started at shortstop, didn't have the arm for it, got beat out there. They moved me to left field, and I guess that's why. I am so anal about the play of our boy Taylor Ward, because I don't think I would have been allowed to do that. If I would have did that, I would have never made the team. I would never kept playing on the team. And I didn't start out with the best batting average either. It took me a while to get going. I didn't get scouted till my final year. When I put it all together. But defensively, I had to get it down first. And the fact that Todd had a cannon back the day. I did have an arm. I could still throw about 80 miles per hour right now, but at my height, I threw 93. I wanted to be a pitcher. I just didn't have the movement. I didn't learn how to pitch or throw a pitch consistently until I was out of baseball. But yeah, I started. I had a hard time, throwing certain pitches. So. Let's see. Big Red says, Todd, I listened to your other podcast before you made HITI. Before I knew who you were, I've just realized that once y'all stopped, thought you stopped till I found you a year later. Oh man, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we started out with Angel Central. I was doing shit with them on the regular, but didn't work out. Control in baseball is hard, especially velocity. Yeah, you could throw real hard, like I could. I just couldn't put it where I wanted it. Todd Fox have someone that will make Perry Manassia's voice. Yeah, I gotta get someone to do that. So anyway, yeah, let me play the Marsha one real quick, man, because at least I got that one. I don't have the golden dong, but let's play that one for our boy Grill Master, one of the OGs right here.
I need your seed.
Who's got the biggest biceps? Marsha. Who's got shoulders like a man? Marsha. Who's got a rapist wrist? Marsha. Who's got a thing for young surfers? Marsha. Who put the tree off the grill? Marsha. Who could slam a shack? Marsha.
Congratulations, pal.
That voice is still scary. When we put Marsha up there, yeah, when she or he or they them talks, man, very scary WNBA player, former WNBA player. Nothing like the golden dong. Yeah, you got to get the golden dong back for sure. So at least we were able to talk it out and cope, because obviously the Angels lost tonight 10-3. Disgusting game. But I appreciate every one of you in the comments. It was a fun 3-game series against the Dodgers. But boy, this one leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man. Yeah, have a good night, Big Red. And there's J Dog with a Marsha Halo boots checking in the trophies. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Tough game tonight, but we'll get them, I guess, tomorrow. ? We'll see what's up. I'll be back on here tomorrow. We'll be talking win or lose. Same thing on Sunday. And we'll go from there. And then, like I said, big things coming up in the off season when the Angels don't make the playoffs. We will be doing some, I guess, hand-picked playoff games with baseball. If it's a very compelling baseball series, we might do a watch party like we did last year, and have a remote, like do a watch party like at Bruheim or somewhere else. And obviously, we got the duck season coming as well. That's going to be coming on here to HITI. So I'll be doing post-game shows here for the Ducks. And then football talk, the NFL. We'll be doing one show a week, talking about the week that was, talking about picks. So we're literally turning this into a network. So we don't put HITI Network up there for a reason. Nathan says we need the lizard. Are you going to talk about the audit and Skags in the future? Yeah, we're probably going to do a special on that because we should have what is it called? Information on that. I'm not an ex-Coyote fan, Sega boy. That's Fernando. Fernando's the what is it called? The ex-Coyote fan. I've always been a Ducks. Luzardo. Yes, I would love to have Luzardo here. Todd, you're not like the other pods because you're not big enough to deal. You're small enough to care. Hey, that's my line. 49ers got the Seahawks week 1, baby. Well, let me raise the helmet to the team that's going to win that game in week 1. That's right. Fuck the Niners. That's why football talk's going to be fun too. So with that being said, everybody, we'll catch you on here tomorrow on the post-game show. Hopefully we get that W for sure. Appreciate everybody being on here. And let's see, should I play it out with a losing slide? Now we'll play you out with this one right here. We'll play out with who's to blame for this. Good night, everybody.
It's me.